To Cape Town now, where ward councillors there have been urged to encourage residents to report any signs of vagrancy or newly erected structures. This as the city is intensifying its crackdown on illegal land occupations. This comes in the wake of a large-scale eviction 2 weeks ago, where over 300 homeless people were removed from just outside of the Castle of Good Hope. Now, the group had been living on the grounds since 2020, and since that eviction, makeshift structures have been rapidly mushrooming. Our reporter Veronica Makhoali is on the story and she joins us live. It sounds like a very desperate story for some of these homeless people that have been moved from somewhere they've been living for the past 4 years. What are some of the remedies that have been implemented by the city of Cape Town? And of course, the warning from the city saying they do not want to see any of these illegal structures mushrooming across the city.
That's right, Aubrey. In fact, the word desperation really is the best way to explain it, given the fact that the city has to battle with, of course, understanding the homeless community and the desperation of the housing crisis here in the city of Johannesburg, but at the same time having to maintain and stop what we often see as urban decay in big metros such as the city of Cape Town, Johannesburg and other metros in the country. In fact, this site over here has been and sites like this that we've seen across the city of Cape Town has become really a focal point of tension between the city and residents when it comes to the issue of homelessness and evictions. We are here on Primrose Street in District 6, where an eviction has just taken place, where law enforcement have flattened the structures here and where trucks have just arrived to start to remove the materials that are here. And of course, you'd understand, Aubrey, that this is part of the city of Cape Town's operations after they were granted a court order to start moving and doing operations like this to clear some of the areas, both public infrastructure-wise, some of the streets, as well as some of the lands that is owned by the national government as well, to clear out some of those that have been living on the streets, but also the structures here. But in response to that, it has left many people destitute. It has left many people essentially confused in regards to how the city has been rolling this out. I am now with Mr. Desmond, who is one of the residents who are living here, and he's really expressed to me just the devastation of this eviction and what has taken place, and feeling as though in some way this has been an unlawful eviction. Mr. Desmond, thank you so much for your time. You're live on Newzroom Afrika. We were speaking a bit earlier as this was taking place.
You must wait for the people to be present, yeah? You have no right. There's personal documents petitions, you understand? At least you could have come and asked who is the resident at this place, understand? Yeah. So I think this is an unlawful eviction. Yet the court order was given. It was given 31st October. They will bring a eviction process, you understand? But where are the people there? I think it's unlawful because the people is not home, you understand? So I think from my side, it's not right. Where's your documentation? You're saying, I have my policy, which I have to go with Metropole and say, and look and do my thing again. Huh? You must wait for the people to be here because you do the eviction. Huh?
And I saw you talking to some of the law enforcement officials, confronting them about what has taken place. What did you actually say to them?
In which way? What I told?
When you were talking to them and you were confronting them and telling them about how this process has taken place, I know you said that they should have given an opportunity.
Opportunity? You're keeping me off guard. I knew the eviction was going to be, but you keep me off guard. You see. So you couldn't just take my people stuff as such. I know I'm occupying government space. Yet understand, but at least this was not on the agenda. There were some. I'm a soft target. Why don't start there at the scrapyard? Why don't start there?
That was Desmond there, a resident of this area, just speaking about how he feels in terms of the law enforcement and what is taking place here. And truly what Desmond has said is quite factual and fair in the fact that the process that needs to take place is that law enforcement has to give some of those that are residing on the street an opportunity to remove their personal belongings before, of course, having to remove their structures. We can see now what was once their homes now being loaded essentially into trucks. This is part of the city's efforts to, of course, clean out government areas, clean out government lands. But again, Aubrey, this is a massive undertaking, given the fact that those that were removed just 2 weeks ago from the Castle of Good Hope have been mushrooming around the city of Johannesburg, desperately trying to find a place to live. And so the city, on top of its already operation and the court order that was granted on evictions, are now also on another operation in terms of a counter-exploitation effort. And so we'll be continuing to speak to some of the residents about how this is affecting them. Back to you.
Just very quickly, Veronica, before I let you go, is there alternative accommodation that these people had been availed? Is there somewhere that they can go to? Is this something that the city had taken care of?
Well, certainly the City of Cape Town has made it very clear, even in its court order in regards to these evictions, that they are willing to take the residents to the city's safe spaces. We will have an opportunity to visit one of them today to get an understanding of how these safe spaces work and how they are helping not only to remove some of the residents off the street, but how they are also making sure that they are reintegrated back into society, and how that housing program as well in these shelters is working. But many of them, Aubrey, I must tell you, often say that they are not comfortable at these shelters and prefer to go elsewhere.